we're going to get right into this one. These second-gen Dodges have notoriously problematic HVAC systems. All of my vents do blow air and the heat does work, but I have had nothing but problems with the air conditioning. I brought it to a shop a few years ago and they replaced the compressor and one of the lines and got me for over $1,000. And a month later, the AC was blowing hot again. After that, I would just buy a can of refrigerant at the auto parts store and toss it in every month, and I did that for years. So now I have some downtime. I'm going to be ripping it all out and starting fresh. So you can see here I'm working on getting the retainers off, the lines, and then onto the quick disconnects. Let me tell you, there was nothing quick about these. After buying 2 different tools and neither of them working, I ended up cutting off a piece of hose clamp and sliding that into the connection, and that ended up working. So right here you can see I'm getting the first line disconnected from the condenser and then fishing that out, and then working on the second line and getting that fished out as well. These were a little tricky, but you can get them. I didn't expect to have to pull the bumper off for this job, but it was in the way to get the condenser out. This was only 4 bolts and a couple of plugs for the fog lights, so I pulled that off and put it aside. Using this 1/4-inch impact makes quick work of getting the bolts off the intercooler. And here's the new condenser. I got all the parts for this project from Napa. I've had good luck with them. It's always a good idea to use anti-seize when putting steel bolts into aluminum threads, as this Mishimoto intercooler is all aluminum. The next part to come out was the compressor. I wasn't going to be replacing this as it was previously replaced a couple of years ago and still seems like it's in good condition, but I still want to take it out, clean it, and it's going to get refilled with oil. This took a little bit of time, only allowing me to go a 1/4 turn at a time, but I was able to get it unplugged and fish it out of there. This thing is so dirty because I have a leaky crankshaft seal that I need to replace, and I just wanted to clean this thing up and get the holes taped off so that no dirt or grime gets inside the compressor. So we have the compressor fully out, cleaned it up a little bit. It looks like this takes 210 cc's of SB15. That is the Sandin OEM updated AC oil for this. We actually got some. Stuff is hard to get a hold of. I didn't want to just use general PAG oil. I couldn't find a reliable cross-reference in order to fill this thing up. And then we're also going to add just some AC dye so we can see if any leaks we have and put it back together. I also got this off Amazon. a couple of bucks, just so it turns out that milliliters and cc's are 1-to-1. So let's just get this thing cleaned up, drained, and refilled with new oil. Again, I keep using brake clean and new paper towels just to be as clean as possible on this so I don't get anything inside the compressor, especially when I'm refilling the oil here. I just like to keep everything clean. So there we have it. We put in 6 ounces of just over 6 ounces of this, and just about 1 ounce of this, which brings us to 7.1 ounces. This stuff will help us to detect any leaks when we put it back together. I'm going to use the rest of this to lube up any O-rings on a lot of the quick connect fittings. And yeah, let's get this in the truck. So the one thing that we're not going to change out is the unit inside the cab, which I believe is the evaporator.
Is the unit inside the cab.
Famous last words. It turns out it was the evaporator under the dash that was leaking. Here's a picture of it after pulling the whole dashboard out. It was so bad. Ugh. On with the video. It's these right here. That's one. I got one taped over right there. The tape fell off the other one. But what we're gonna use is this AC Pro flush. Flush it out with this. Hit it with some compressed air. And just clean it out the best that we can. I found a little bottle to catch what comes out of the other line. Definitely got a bunch of old dye and old oil and some crap out of there. This up off of the AC flush thing from the parts store. I cut the hose off. I found a barbed fitting for the compressor gun, and I'll just blow it out using the same tip. With the compressed air, I got quite a bit more crap out. So now we got everything clean. Got it flushed out. Gotta start putting stuff back in. Putting all the lines together. Put the compressor back in. A couple tips I got is that take the extra oil that you have, put a little bit on each O-ring so it goes together smoothly. It should seal. So that's what we're gonna do now. It was a bit tricky routing the new pre-bent lines and getting them to line up, but with a little finagling, a little bit of muscling, you can get them. And here you can see putting a little bit of oil on the O-rings so they slide together better. I didn't mention this earlier, but I also got a brand new dryer, as you can see I'm putting in place here. Here's the connection at the other end of those lines, and I'm pulling the cap right here. You want to leave these parts open as little time as possible so no contaminants get in the lines or any of the parts. And here's the last line, which is probably one of the hardest. Here I am fishing the compressor back into place. It's a tricky one because it's so heavy and it's in an awkward place and the bolts are hard to get to. Here I am putting back the belt onto the compressor by using a little extension on my ratchet to pull the tensioner back. And here's the other end of that line that I'm mating to the condenser. Retightening the bolts on the battery hold down, I needed to make a little bit of room to fish one of the lines out. And back on goes the bumper. So now we have everything installed. Now we're gonna hook it up to the vacuum pump, put a vacuum on it, see if there's any leaks, and then we're gonna charge it. We lucked out at the local O'Reilly's. Brand new vacuum pump. And the manifold gauge scent doesn't look too bad either. So let's give it a go. So this manifold gauge set looks new, but upon further investigation, one of the brass fittings on the yellow lines was split, causing a leak. So it was back to the parts store to get a new one. All right, so we pulled it down. It went down to about 26. I believe that's inches of mercury. And it's been holding for just about 30 minutes now. Doesn't seem to be any leaks. And now we're gonna charge it with some refrigerant. So in order to hook up the manifold gauges to just a regular can that you buy in the auto parts store, you're gonna need this little adapter. So I got the can here hooked up to a non-leaking hose to the gauges. And then I zeroed it out and we'll see how much that weighs, just the can weighs, and then we'll subtract it because we got to get 32 ounces and these are 12 ounces a piece. So the last can, we'll do some math and we'll make sure we put in the right amount. So when you're refilling the refrigerant, you want the AC on full blast on its coldest setting with the vehicle running. So there we have it. Pull these off. That's it for the install. She's blowing cold. We'll see you in the next one.